like and subscribe. As a man, I realized my father isn't perfect, but there are still a lot of good things he taught me. Which teaching/advice from your father will you guys pass on to your kids? And which of your own life lessons do you plan to pass on? My dad has only lied to me once. It was about something silly and he quickly came clean. Have the courage to be honest, it is worth it. Don't wait for things to fall into your lap. You want something done, you put the work in. I see many people missed out on having a father, and have instead chosen to be a great one to their kids. You guys are awesome. That ain't easy. 1. It's better to learn from the mistakes others do. It's cheaper. 2. Ask as much as you can. People tend to talk about more than they initially wanted. 3. Better think 3 hours and work 1 hour, before you think just 1 hour and work 3 hours. 4. If something's heavy, leave it on the floor and repair it there. It won't fall down then. 5. Don't let your think for you. 6. Dispose your condom by yourself. 7. Nobody owes you anything. The only ones who gives you stuff for free are your parents. 8. Don't lend anybody money. If it comes to money you will lose friends. Even the family may break. 9. If you promise something, hold your word. 10. Family is above all. I have more, but that is enough, I would say. How to leave work stresses at work. Cocaine is a fantastic drug. It's why I had to stop using it. I liked it too much. Actual quote from my dad when I was 16. I truly believe it's why I never sought out cocaine, or why I avoided it at parties. I have an addictive personality. I would have likely enjoyed it too much. That people are not perfect. We are all neither totally good or totally bad. We're a shade of murky grey. Just because someone does a bad thing does not mean a good thing they have done cannot be applauded. Equally though, doing a good thing does not absolve you of doing something. Tie. My dad is currently dying, so this hits home a bit for me. My dad was not perfect either, but he was a great man that, to be honest, I cannot really fault either. I think the most important thing I learned from my dad is his critical thinking and his compassion for others. His patience was at a level I have never seen since, and still is, even while on death's door, and I hope one day to have a fraction of his patience and understanding. His incredible ability to stay calm under pressure and communicate with people in a calm and positive way. His ability to do things his own way, without fear of judgment and always succeed, is something I can only dream of being, but it's something I work towards regularly. Tough titty, said the kitty, but the milk's still good. Cut my lip worse than that shaving, and I kept on whistling. Quieter than a cat. Eyeing on cotton. And so many other little phrases. My father isn't exactly every kid's dream, but he taught me to never go back on my word. This is something that I'll plan on teaching my kid, especially if I have a son. Managing money. Don't gossip. Mind your own business. My father has never been a part of my life, but that's a massive reason why I want children. When I have children I want to give them what I missed out on. His talk warning me about STDs/premarital sex was short, and I've always remembered it. You only get one first time. His appreciation for intellectualism, speaking many languages, getting a good education. Stuff like that. Nothing. He was absent growing up. But my daughter will never know how that feels. Although I didn't have an example of what a father should be growing up, I have figured things out as we go along, and I think I'm doing okay. One important thing I'm trying to teach her is how she should expect to be treated by boys when she gets older. In a few short years, I'm going to teach her to drive. My dad is a trash truck driver that always goes the speed limit and never speeds unless he absolutely has to. When he started teaching me how to drive, he told me there's never a reason to pass someone going the limit, because half the time you usually see them at the same stoplight next to you. Don't keep friends that are not loyal. How to use hand and power tools was a very big impact my father taught me. Usually I would hold the flashlight, but sometimes he would let me fix things with him. I never really cared for it, until I got my first place after college with a roommate. He had no idea how to use a screwdriver, to tighten a screw on a door hinge, paint a section of the wall, or even drill a new hole for a wall hook. Self-reliance was important to him, and I want to pass that to my kids one day. Don't get married just to have sex. I wish I had listened to the old man. People get married just to have sex. TF. His vision was that the children should be in a better state than the parents. He grew up very poor with 5 other siblings. They didn't have a permanent home, and had to work, and cook and do everything for himself, and for his siblings, because they are poor. Now, he is a parent, has a home for us, a car to use, and not having to suffer what he had to go through. Now he teaches us that we should be better than him, because he knows that we can do better and be better. That's why every day I do my best to strive harder, and be better like what he wanted for us. He never looked down on others, always respectful. Bring your tools close to your work. Basically, if you're doing something, keep all of the components you need close by. Egg, if you're taking food, bring your plate close to the serving dish. If you're screwing something in / fixing something, bring all your tools close to your place of work, and keep everything consolidated to streamline the process. I didn't like it as a kid, but I thank my dad constantly for it now, as an adult. I would get a birthday card with a 20 or something in it. My dad would take out his wallet, put the 20 in, and take out 2 5s and a 10. He would then give me one of the 5s, to spend however I wanted. Then he opened a savings account that I could watch grow over the years, and he'd put the remaining $15 in it. He taught me to put away whatever you could whenever possible. I've been living a relatively comfortable adult life for over a decade now based off that simple lesson. I plan on teaching my son the same once he gets old enough to understand. My dad taught me how to fix a lot of stuff. I'll definitely pass that knowledge on. Taught me a lot about maintenance for vehicles, tools, even houses and appliances to make them last as long as possible. Taught me to cook. Taught me to shoot. Taught me knife fighting. Taught me a lot about gardening. I could probably write a book at this point. I learned through my father that alcohol is not worth the cost. I very rarely drink alcohol, and when I do it's only to have something tasty to drink. Never for a buzz. I'm not talking about the monetary cost of drinking, but there's another cost that I have seen way too many times. 2 things that really stand out. 1. Always be kind, polite, and thankful to anyone who helps you. Whether it's a retail worker, cashier, waitress/waiter, or even some random person on the street you just asked for the time or directions. Being kind and polite to others is key to being a good human being. 2. Don't see the color, see the person. He told me his parents were very old school racists, and brought him up to be the same things they did. This would been back in the early 60s I think, when he was a kid. He realized in high school that color doesn't make the person. Even if they have a different vernacular, that doesn't change who they are as a person. My father isn't getting any Father of the Year awards, but he taught me 2 things. 1. If you say you're going to do something, do it. 2. Don't have kids unless you're ready for the long haul. Never pick fights. You can get sued for life if you do so. Actually none. He's way too busy with his records at teaching them homework, drawing, while he did none of those things with me. Always give something a try. The worst thing that could happen is a no. And even with that you will be the same as before. The difference is in the yes. My dad is a bigot, religiously fundamentalist and intolerant, mean, formally cruel to animals, ignorant, and an incurable misogynist. I admire very little about him, but he is sticking by my mom in her old age as she devolves into dementia. He refuses to put her into a home, and has absolutely rearranged his life to care for her. So although I can take no past lessons from, nor summon any admiration for my father, it's possible that I'll still learn something from him in the present or the future. The jury is still out. A car is just something to cart your around the country. Well, my mom lied and alienated me and my father from each other. He didn't run away. I do wish I took his advice, cause now I'm being alienated from my own child myself. So I can't really give her advice and not being tie women since she's around 124/7. Don't get behind on child support. Try not to be schizophrenic. My dad's constant motto of it's better to have it, and not need it, and not have it. Bringing something with me, because maybe their last kid has saved me so much time, money, and headaches. Even if I didn't need it, the fact that I don't have to worry about missing something is just nice peace of mind. To this day I always have a first aid kit in my car, always bring a long sleeve and a pair of pants on a trip, even if the weather says it'll be warm, and I keep the second form of it on me, because you might just need it. He taught me many lessons by example, both positive and negative. Positive, work ethic and competency. Being courteous and personable, to acquaintances and strangers alike. Negative, be more patient, calm, and less prone to anger. Let go of grudges, pay attention to your health. Don't have kids, and my dad is not perfect either. But my dad is the hardest worker I know. I think the only thing my father ever taught me was parallel parking. If I have kids I'll probably pass along that lesson, lol. Life isn't fair. I repeat the same mantra to my two little ones now too. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.